We are doing the numerology and the astrology for January 16th, 2021. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 13. And if you add the 1 and the 3 together, you get the number 4. Now, sometimes I like to tear the number apart and look at the 1 and look at the 3 and then look at the 4 as they combine. So let's do that for a second today. So the number 1 is about individuality. It's about humility. It's about authenticity, and it's about realness. It's about being as authentic as you can possibly be. It's a number that's associated with the Dalai Lama. And nobody would say the Dalai Lama isn't incredibly powerful, but his power comes from his humility. And so, it's that place of acceptance and compassion and kind of moving from that deeper place of understanding the challenges of being human and the challenges of dancing through life, in this duality that we're in. The number 3 is the number of positive mind, and the number 3 is about, kind of being on a roller coaster, as I have in my book, and it's called Devil and Divine, which means things can kind of split into really, really good and really, really bad, and they can kind of go to these extremes one way or the other. And so you can imagine that if you take the authenticity and the humility and the compassion that is that is the number 1, and you add it to the positive energy of the number 3, but a little bit with a roller coaster, you can imagine that the challenge is to find that harmony or balance, which is the number 4. That's in my book. And so, the gurus used to say peace is an internal experience, not an external circumstance. It's not about others. It's not about what they do or don't do. It's actually about how you feel on the inside, and that no one can actually help you find that balance inside of yourself. And so, gurus and teachers, can point to a door, but ultimately you have to walk through that door in consciousness. And peace has to be fought for in order to be maintained. And so there's that dance, between humility, authenticity, realness, compassion, and then swimming or surfing this wild ride that is life, that, loves to throw you and throw you off in a lot of different ways. So today, the game is about balance, and how do we achieve a balance in a world where, there's just this constantly adjusting equation on all the facts and circumstances. And, something is more difficult at the moment, with all of the information that's being kind of overwhelming us and also distorting, and it's kind of hard to listen with all of our senses, and it's hard to listen with an open heart, and it's hard to take a higher direction from our soul position when you feel like there's things coming at you from every single angle. And then we have to make choices, and we need to look at as many aspects as we can in order to have a clear choice, and figuring out what is the best answer and what is the best outcome that serves a higher purpose for everyone. And everyone will make mistakes in life, and everyone has things that they have to learn and go through according to the plan that they're in. And everyone's path is not everyone else's path. And so, my path is not everyone else's path. My journey is not everyone else's journey. And so, I find that, karma is one of these funny things that it's like even if you think something isn't your karma, ultimately, if it is, it'll circle back around to you in some way, shape, and form. And karma is always just going to try and point out where you were out of balance, or, and if you continue to ignore that, it'll continue to tilt it further out of balance. And so, this is a day to let the negativity go and allow some sort of natural and organic balance to be restored, and to give peace and respite in the middle of all of this. Now, the astrology today, on Saturday, the moon moves into the intuitive sign of Pisces, and it's perfect for meditation, yoga, listening to music, diving into fantasy or romance novels, and perhaps a good movie. The moon connects in a harmonious way with Mars and Uranus and Venus today, and you might feel this desire to kind of slow down and calm down. And it's been a rough week for everyone, and try anything new to break out of whatever pattern is making us feel constricted. Today we become more aware of a hunger inside for, just this balance. And this alignment and to find a way to clarify things that have been very confusing. And so, this is a day where you want to put things to the side. And with Mercury and Pallas both in Aquarius, minds want to understand and solve problems, and all the while the key is fairness and justice that is backed by raw and real truth. And so, today, kind of take some moments whenever you can and, kind of look at your life and decide what you have as a plan, and kind of take that plan and try and look beyond the time and space and, figure out how to implement that plan with a lot of grace. So, personally, I can't wait for this particular cycle to shift. I mean, it's just a really interesting thing happening right now. And we have a lot of big changes happening in February just because we're going to have 7 planets in Aquarius. And, you're going to feel the shift in the energy and the direction. And, it's part of this global energy shift. And, I know that the Aquarius energy is about being more inclusive and more accepting, and kind of recognize that, there's this great wave of change that's happening. And, it's kind of time to share the best world we can kind of create, and, to figure out how to share peace and contentment, and, how to share hope, with others and the world and our children's children. It's kind of the best thing we could possibly do. And just kind of know that we're in a pattern that, really fortunately can't be stopped. And so there's going to be a lot of change. It's going to be rapid and progressive. It might be really, really difficult for some. And, you have to figure out how to learn to kind of connect from a place of commonality rather than the differences. And so I hope everyone has a good day. Thanks.